my students. Myself, Dr. Ravikant Pathak, and I'm working in the Excel Academy Private Limited, Tuticorin, and as a biology faculty NEET. And in the sequence of this chapter, so we are going to discuss about the last topic of this chapter. So we have discussed two things, you know very well. So we will discuss today two topics of this chapter, and this is the last topic of this chapter, Planty Kingdom. And in the Planty Kingdom, you have already seen. So we have discussed 3 to 4 topic: history of classification of plants, algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperm. So now two topic remain of this chapter: angiosperm as well as plant life cycle. So two topic remain here, so we will discuss in this video these two topic: angiosperm and their characteristics, as well as one thing also, that is the life cycle of the plant. Okay. So angiosperm. If you'll anyone they will ask with you what is the angiosperm. So angiosperm is the have seeded. This is the seeded plant. Seeded plant means these plants bear the seed, and seed are covered by it. So angiosperm, they have the seed, and seed are enclosed by the fruit. Enclosed by the fruit, and fruit generally forms. Fruit generally forms from the ovary wall. You know two things. First thing is that ovules always form. Ovules always forms the seed, and ovary always forms the fruit. Clear? In the previous that last video, I already seen the gymnosperm. So gymnosperm, they also considered as a seeded plant, means seed bearing plants, but their seed is the naked. So seeds remain exposed before fertilization as well as after fertilization. Clear? So but in case of the angiosperm, so the seed are enclosed by the fruit. Fruit means ovary wall. Ovary wall involves in the formation of fruit. Clear? And if you check the angiosperm, so angiosperm is the highly dominated flora on the earth. Clear? Angiosperm, you can say highly dominated, means everywhere present, and highly dominated flora on the earth, that is angiosperm. Clear? So this is the characteristics. Next points, if we'll check the diversity. So diversity, they have the number of diversity, you can see here, almost microscopic. If you'll see, so they have the very small. Microscopic means without added eye you can't see. Okay, so it means this is the microscopic. Their structure is the microscopic, and the name of this angiosperm is the Wolffia. Clear? And tall tree. So tall tree is the eucalyptus. So tall tree, eucalyptus, and their height up to the 100 meters. Clear? Tall tree also have not tallest, because I already discussed. So tallest tree found in the gymnosperm. Okay, tallest tree found in the gymnosperm. In case of the angiosperm, only tall tree. So here it means this is sentence explaining only the variation of their size. If you'll see, so here very small, minute in size, that is the Wolffia. Okay, here minute in the size, Wolffia, and tall. So they have also great means tall tree also found, which is named as the eucalyptus. Okay, and their height 100 meters. Clear? So this is the description of about angiosperm. And next thing, if you check the reproductive organ, so angiosperm reproductive organ, and the reproductive organ considered as a flower. Clear? So angiosperm reproductive organ considered as a flower, because you know very well. So flower have the two things means male as well as female. Clear? Female as well as male reproductive organ. So male reproductive organ also known as the androecium. Male reproductive organ in case of the angiosperm, this is known as the androecium. Clear? And androecium, male reproductive unit. If they will ask in your exam, so male reproductive unit is the stamen. Clear? Stamen, male reproductive unit, and male reproductive organ is the androecium. Male reproductive organ is the androecium. Clear? So you can say here male reproductive organ is the androecium, and male reproductive unit is the stamen. Stamen, and if you'll check the stamen, so stamen have the different structure. They are made up of the two things, anther and filament. Stamen always have the anther and filament, and anther. So anther have the pollen grain. Clear? Anther forms the pollen grain, and pollen grain considered as a male gametophyte. In case of the angiosperm, so pollen grain considered as a male gametophyte. So like male gametophyte, you can see here female reproductive organ. So female reproductive organ in case of the angiosperm, that is called the gynoecium. This is called the gynoecium. And female reproductive unit. Female reproductive unit considered as a pistil or carpel. Clear? So female reproductive unit, you can say pistil or carpel, and these pistil or carpel have the ovary. If you will check the structure of, structure of the female reproductive part, so they have the three different region: stigma, style, and ovary. Ovary is the basal part. Ovary is the basal swollen part, which is known as the ovary. Clear? So ovary, style, stigma, and stigma is the site where the landing of pollen grain takes place. Clear? And after ovary, they have the ovary or many ovules. Inside the ovary, they have the one ovules or many ovules. And you know very well, so ovule what form? Ovule generally forms the seed. Okay, and this ovule also develops and form the embryo sac. Okay, and this embryo sac technically called the megasporangium. This embryo sac technically called the megasporangium, and you have already seen the structure of the megasporangium. If you see the they have the two ends. One is the micropylar end, by which pollen tube enters. That is the micropylar is a pore by which pollen tube can enter. So that is called micropylar end. And another end also have just opposite to micropylar end. They have the one end which is known as the chalazial end. Chalazial ends are provided with the antipodal cell. Antipodal cell, and micropylar end are provided with the egg apparatus. Micropylar end are provided with the egg apparatus. Clear? So it means you can say here this is the micropylar end as well as chalazial end. Chalazial end have the antipodal cells, and micropylar end have the egg apparatus, and in the egg apparatus it have the two synergid cell and one egg cell, and in the center of embryo sac they have the two polar nuclei. If we'll check their structure, so it have the 7-celled 8-nucleated structure. So this is called the 7-celled 8-nucleated structure embryo sac. And if we'll see, so antipodal cells, synergid cells, and this is the structure of embryo sac. Clear? So this you can read. If you read this sentence which I already explained, so these are explaining. Embryo sac has 3-celled egg apparatus. I already told this thing. It's egg apparatus, one egg cell. Here one egg cell and two synergids. So here also have the two synergid. Here it also have the two synergid. And 3 antipodal cell. 3 antipodal cell, where it located? It located towards the chalazial end. Micropylar end have the egg apparatus, and antipodal cell located towards the chalazial end, and in the center they have the two polar nuclei. So due to this structure is known as the 7-celled 8 multinucleated, 7-celled 8 nucleated structure. Okay, and if you'll see, so here they have again the polar nuclei. The polar nuclei eventually fuse to produce a diploid secondary nucleus. Means you can say inside the structure, if you'll see, so they have the polar nucleus. They have the diploid structure. Means they have the two nuclei. They have the fuse and they forms the two nuclei. So it have the two nuclei. So due to this polar nucleus also called. This is called the diploid secondary nucleus. Okay. So now next you can see, you can say here the pollen tubes, because you know very well. So pollen grains germinate and forms the pollen tube, and this pollen tube enters into embryo sac. And during enters, so that time synergids and filiform apparatus which located towards the micropylar end, it helps in the orientation and guidance of the pollen tube. So with the help of synergids, so it reach up to the it discharged the two male gametes, and these two male gametes, one male gametes fused with the one male gamete fused with the egg cell, which forms the zygote, and this phenomenon is called the syngamy. So you can read this statement. One of the male gametes fuse with the egg cell and to form a zygote. To form a zygote, this phenomenon is known as the syngamy. Syngamy means when first male gamete of the pollen tube fuse with the egg cell and forms the zygote. So this phenomenon is known as the syngamy. Clear? And other, if you check the other, so it means you can say other male gametes. So second male gametes fuse with second male gametes, where it will fuse. So it will fuse with the secondary nucleus. Okay, it will fuse with the diploid secondary nucleus. So here you can read. So this statements explaining. If you read this statement, so here they have given the other the secondary nucleus, secondary male gametes. So here this is the not secondary, second male gametes. So second male gametes fuse with the secondary nucleus. Second male gametes fuse with the secondary nucleus and produce triploid primary structure. Why? Because they have already two nucleus. And when male gamete also fuse, so then it forms the three-axis structure. And this structure is called the PEN, primary endosperm nucleus. So this structure is generally called the PEN, primary endosperm nucleus. And this primary endosperm nucleus develops and forms the endosperms. Clear? So because, and this is the unique feature. You can read here. This is an event unique. This event is the unique of angiosperm. Why? Because this is called the double fertilization. The double fertilization is the unique feature of the angiosperm. Okay. Why? Because in case of the angiosperm, so first time fertilization takes place when the zygote, when the syngamy takes place, and second time also. Why? Because second male gametes fuse with the polar nuclei. So in this way, two times fertilization takes place. So this phenomenon is called the double fertilization triple fusion. Double fertilization triple fusion. Triple fusion means, that means if you see, so there is the endosperms form the 3x structure. Okay. So now next point of this angiosperm, you can see here the zygote. The zygote develops into an embryo. The zygote develops into an embryo with one or two cotyledons. And you know very well. So one or two cotyledons means cotyledons. This is the nutritive structure. Cotyledons is the nutritive structure. And you know very well, angiosperm also divided into two different types, monocot and dicot. So basic, I am going to discuss about the only basic differences. They have given the in your book and other assisted book. So they have given the number of differences between monocotyledons and dicotyledons. But I will tell only the three differences. First, monocot have the single cotyledons, dicot have the two cotyledons, and monocot have the adventitious root, and dicot have the tap root. So dicot have the tap root and monocot have the adventitious root. And one thing also you can see, so monocot have the parallel venation. If you check the leaf of the monocot, so monocot have this type of venation. Monocot have the parallel venation. But in case of the dicot, so dicot have the reticulate venation. So this is the difference between monocot and dicot. So here they have given embryo. So embryo developed with the monocot means one cotyledon, dicot means two cotyledons, and the PN means that is primary endosperm nucleus. It develops into the endosperm, and you know very well I had already told. So it forms the 3x structure, and the function of endosperm is to provide the nourishment during the embryonic development of the embryo sac. Clear? During the embryonic development of the seed or anything, so these endosperm, during the embryonic development of the seed, these endosperms provide the nourishment. So they have given these endosperms which provide the nourishment during the developing embryo. And you already know, so two different types of the seed found. One is called the albuminous seed and another is the ex-albuminous or non-albuminous. So non-albuminous means such type of the seed they consumed during the embryonic development of the seed. Clear? So you can see here such type of the seed they have the, so such type of the seeds it can be consumed during the embryonic development. So during the embryonic development, so this endosperm consumed, and this type of the called non-albuminous or ex-albuminous. So here I have the two example PG, peanut and groundnut. So peanut and groundnut considered as they are considered as a non-albuminous or ex-albuminous seed. Why? Because they generally utilize their endosperm during their embryonic development. They utilize the endosperm. Okay. So now next property. So that means they have given synergy. If the fertilization completed after the fertilization completion, so synergid and excel. So synergid and antipodal cell. So it means you can say synergid and antipodal cells both got degenerated. So it means you can say the synergid and filiform apparatus I had already told it involves in the orientation and guidance of the pollen tube during the entering into the embryo sac, and antipodal cells degenerate. Antipodal cells degenerate means synergid and antipodal cells degenerate after the fertilization. Okay, next point I had already discussed, so you know very well. So ovary always forms the fruit and ovule always forms the seed. Ovary always forms the fruit and ovule always develops into the seeds. And one thing also they have given the heteromorphic alternation of generation. So this is the important characteristics of the plant. Heteromorphic alternation of generation means you can say they show the both phase, sporophytic as well as gametophytic. Sporophytic is the diploid, means 2n. Sporophytic is the diploid stage, while gametophytic is the haploid stage. Sporophytic is the diploid stage and gametophytic. So gametophytic is the haploid stage. So alternation of generation you already studied in the animal kingdom. So one phylum which show the phenomenon of alternation of generation, or that is also called the metagenesis. And metagenesis where observed? Metagenesis observed in the Coelentrates phylum. Metagenesis observed in the Coelentrate phylum. So Coelentrate also called the Cnidarian. So Cnidarian, that is cnidoblast. Okay, so it means you can say here this life cycle. So sorry, not life cycle. You can say this is also life cycle. So here that show the alternation of generation, and in this figure they explaining alternation of generation. So you can see here one by one, and first of all you see here they have given the gametophytic as well as sporophytic. So here first thing is sporophyte. So plant means that is plant. So those plants that is angiospermic plant, they show the sporophytic, and sporophytic is the 2n. Sporophytic always you can say this is the 2n. So this is the 2n stage. So here is sporophytic diploid stage. Diploid stage means 2n. So that have given diploid and autotrophic. It is not dependent. Clear? Diploid and autotrophic. And you know very well. So this is the flower. Flower is considered as a reproductive organ of the angiosperm, and it have the both male and female. Male have the three things: style, stigma, ovary. Female have the three things: style, stigma, ovary, and male have the anther and filament. Female forms the megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cells divide from the embryo sac. Embryo sac, and this embryo sac ready for the fertilization. It's waiting for the pollination. And here filament they have the anther also have the microsporangium, and this microsporangium made up of the 4 different layers: endothecium, tapetum, and epidermis, and middle layer. So you know very well tapetum provide the nourishment. Okay, and this microsporangium forms the microsporangium form the microspore tetrad, and after that they will form the microspore, that is the pollen grain. Clear? So they will form the pollen grain, and pollen grains got the they have the 2 different layer, exine and intine. Clear? So pollen grains you can say they form the exine and intine, and these pollen grain after some times they form the 2 different types of the cells, vegetative cells, and they form the 2 different types of the cells, 2 male gametes, and also develops into the pollen tube, and pollen tube by the micropylar ends enter into the embryo sac, and after that fertilization takes place. and when fertilization completed, so there is the zygote. Zygote have started to development, and after the developments they will form the three different structure GHT. They form the three different structure, so that you can say here they form how many types of structure? They form the three different structure during the embryonic development. First is the G, second is the H, and third is the T. So first is the G, second is the H, and third is the T. G stands for globular, second H stands for heart, and T stands for torpedo shape. So in this way, the development of the zygote takes place and ultimately form a new individual of the angiospermic plant. Clear? So means you can say here you already seen, so the development of the development as well as life cycle, yes, so life cycle of the plants, and how many types of the life cycle found in case of the angiosperms. So this is the next topic we will discuss about the different types of the life cycle in case of the angiospermic plants. So angiospermic plants have three different types of the life cycle: haplontic, diplantic, and haplodiplantic. So it have how many types? Haplantic, diplantic, and haplodiplantic. So here you can see plant life cycle and interlacer of generation. So during the they have given, so during the life cycle of the sexually reproducing plant, so sexually reproducing plant, there is an alternation of generation between gametes. So there is alternation of generation between gametes producing haploid gametophyte and spore producing diploid sporophyte. Clear? So it means both stages, the gametophyte as well as sporophyte, both found. So due to this, it is considered as a alternation of generation. So this is considered as a alternation of generation. So you can see first thing they have given, first life cycle it have given, and we will discuss one by one. So first life cycle is the haplontic life cycle, and most of the alga they show such type of the life cycle. Haplontic life cycle where found? It found in the alga. Clear? And there are no free living sporophytes. It means you can say they have the sporophyte, but sporophyte is not independent. Clear? And here they have one thing, meiosis in the zygotes result in the formation of haploid spore. It means you can say meiosis. So meiosis in the zygote result in the formation of haploid spore, and these haploid spores divide mitotically and form the gametophyte. It means this haploid spore mitotically means somatic division. Due to the somatic division, it forms the gametophyte. So it forms the gametophyte. It means that in case of the haplontic life cycle, so gametophyte stage is generally found. Okay. Sporophytic stage also found. Sporophytic stage also found, but is not free, means not independent. They are dependent on the gametophytic stage. Clear? If we'll see, so that means dominant plant body of the haplontic life cycle. Dominant plant body of the haploid plantic. Sorry, the dominant plant body of the body of the haplontic life cycle is the free living gametophyte. So is the free living gametophyte considered as a dominant photosynthetic phase in such plants? Means in case of the haplontic life cycle, so dominant photosynthetic phase. In case of the haplontic life cycle, so dominant photosynthetic phase considered as a free living gametophyte. Example VSC, Volvox, Spirogyra, and Chlamydomonas. Volvox is the motile multicellular colony. Spirogyra is the filamentous multicellular unbranched algae, and Chlamydomonas motile unicellular alga. Okay, so next you can see here sorry, not sporophyta, pteridophyta. So pteridophyta, dominant plant body is considered as a sporophyte. Dominant plant body of the pteridophyte considered as a sporophyte, and it represents here they have given, and it is the independent photosynthetic vascular plant, first terrestrial vascular plant. So first terrestrial vascular plant considered as a pteridophyta. So here they have given, it represents the dominant independent photosynthetic vascular plant body. So dominant independent photosynthetic vascular plant body. And if you see, so here sporophytic stage is the dominant. Sporophytic Autotrophic, this is the dominant stage. Clear? And this is the and gametophytic. Gametophytic also depends on the sporophyte because this is the short-lived haploid gametophyte. And such type of the life cycle and such type of the haplodiplantic life cycle found in the Archaeophytes. It exhibits the Archaeophytes. Okay. And here they have some example which is the very interesting. It is the very interesting some example which I have given. If you read, so you can say interestingly some algae, while the most algal genera have plantic, some of them such as Ictocarpus brown algae, Polycyphenia red algae, Kelps brown algae. They show the which type of cycle? They show the haplodiplantic life cycle. You had already seen. So there is the haplodiplantic life cycle found in the only Pteridophyta as well as Bryophyta, but some algae they are also considered as exception, which show the haplantic diplantic type of the life cycle. Okay, and fucus also exception. Fucus is the Phaeophyceae. You know very well. So Samsung, that is the Samsung LED is fantastic. F stands for fucus. So fucus is the diplantic. Fucus is an alga which is the diplantic. Clear? And you can see here they have given the example and a figure. So they have given the figure. With the help of figure you can easily understand. So first figure if you see, so first figure they have given here, you can say haplantic life cycle. You know very well about the pie chart. You already seen, so like you can understand. So this is the pie chart, and in which maximum stage is the haplantic. It means such type of this life cycle is considered as a haplantic. Dominant gametophytic stage is the dominant gametophytic stage is found. So due to this, it is called the haplantic life cycle. Diplantic means diploid life cycle, means 2n stage is the dominant. Here haploid n stage is the dominant. Clear? So this is the, if you see, so here gametophytic. So here sporophytic is the very short. You will see, so sporophytic stage. So sporophytic stage is the very short, and here gametophytic is the very large. Means 70 to 80% covered by the gametophytic stage, and gametophytic stage is the haploid. Clear? Next, diplantic life cycle. If you see the diplantic life cycle, so diplantic life cycle 2n stage is the 80%, and that is the 80% means you can say dominant. So dominant stage is the sporophytic, and less dominance or less dominant, so that is called the gametophytic. So I think you are understanding. And one type of the cycle also remain, and this type of the plant cycle which is known as the haplodiplantic. And I had already told haplodiplantic where found? It found in the Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. So you can say 50-50%. So if you check the 50-50%, means some plant body have the haplantic and sub plant body have the diplantic. Means 50-50% found. So here sometimes sporophyte found, and sometimes it found the gametophyte. It means 2n and n this found. Okay. So this is the given about the life cycle of the plant, and now your chapter is finished, and I think you are getting good, and you are also understanding very good way. So we have in this chapter we have discussed what I have discussed. I am going to summarize, and we have discussed in this chapter about the history and classification of the plants, and one thing I have also discussed. Okay, so now your class going to finish. So thank you, and subscribe and hit the bell icon for regular updates. So okay, thank you for students.